Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Justin Haskins Show. My name is Justin Haskins. Thank you for joining me. Before we get into today's topic, just quick call to action. Please like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. All of these things are going to help more people see the content. So if you like videos, if you like this video, if you've liked other videos that I've done in the past, we're still a new channel. Please help me out by liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment. All right, let's not waste any time. I don't plan on this being a long video. I wasn't planning on doing a video today, but I saw this story and it just absolutely blew my mind. And it's something I've wanted to talk about for a while. So I decided I was going to throw together a quick video talking about it. There's this incredible article. I'm going to pull it up. Incredible news story out of Europe about the Prime Minister of Sweden is embroiled in a scandal, you could say, I guess, in Sweden because he was caught using artificial intelligence. Actually, he wasn't really caught. I think he openly admitted it, that he's using artificial intelligence as a way of checking the decisions that he makes in office. Now, this to a lot of people is scandalous in Europe, and Americans would obviously be. I mean, if we found out that Donald Trump was, running all of his choices through ChatGPT or through Google's Gemini or something, you could imagine how the mainstream media would react to that one. But this is the future. This is coming. This is the reality of the situation. As artificial intelligence continues to become more prominent, we're going to see more and more people in high-level positions, CEOs of companies, bankers, Wall Street. Wall Street's already using AI a lot, and even politicians, members of Congress, members of the House and the Senate, your state legislatures, your governors, and even the President of the United States. I think we're going to see more and more of these people rely on AI, at least as a way to help them make decisions, because AI is really smart. So why wouldn't you use it, right? So let's pull up the story before we start getting into all the commentary surrounding it. This particular article, you can find other articles about this story elsewhere, but this one is from The Guardian, which is located in the United Kingdom. The title is, "We didn't vote for ChatGPT. Swedish PM," that's Prime Minister, "under fire for using AI in his role." It says that the Swedish Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson has come under fire after admitting that he regularly consults AI tools for a second opinion in his role running the country. Kristersson, whose moderate party leads Sweden's center-right coalition government, said he used tools including ChatGPT and the French service La Chat. His colleagues also used AI in their daily work, he said. This is the quote here, which he told a business newspaper in Sweden. "I use it myself quite often." He's talking about AI. "If for nothing else than for a second opinion. What have others done? And should we think the complete opposite? Those types of questions, period." Obviously, there's a lot of people who are criticizing it and things like that. But the reality is, this is coming. This is not just going to be a prime minister in Sweden saying this kind of thing. This is going to be a huge part of the future of governance in the world. "You have to be very careful," says Simone Fischer-Hubner, a computer science researcher at Karlstad University, warning against using ChatGPT to work with sensitive information. Kristersson's spokesperson, Tom Samuelson, later said the prime minister did not take risks in his use of AI. "Naturally, it is not security-sensitive information that ends up there. It is used more as a ballpark," he said. Okay, so in other words, it's used. He's running his ideas through ChatGPT. He's not running like sensitive data through it. He's running his ideas past AI services like ChatGPT and La Chat, which is a European AI chatbot, in order to get ideas, in order to brainstorm, in order to check to see what other people are doing. That's what he said, right? And he said it very openly. He also said, we kind of glossed over this really quickly, but this is important. The story says that Christensen claims that let me see if I can find the direct quote here. It says that his colleagues also used AI in their daily work, meaning other members of parliament, presumably, or other people who work in the government. I mean, this is already happening in Sweden, and you got to believe that it's probably happening in other parts of the world too, even if they're not admitting it. I mean, would anybody really be shocked if we found out that staffers for members of Congress, or even members of Congress themselves here in America, are running ideas through ChatGPT or Google's Gemini or Grok or something like that? I mean, why wouldn't they do that? Why wouldn't they do that? Now, this begs all sorts of really important questions. It's just an interesting story at face value, but it begs all sorts of important questions about the future. What do we do as a society? What do we do as a society with artificial intelligence as it becomes increasingly better than humans at a lot of different tasks? Now, that's one question. That's a question for all areas of life, right? But when it comes to public policy making, when it comes to big decisions that affect people, it's especially important. What do we do with this thing? Do we just say, well, if you're in office, you can't look at ChatGPT. You can't look at anything that Gemini says. You can't look at what AI has to say. Well, why would you do that? These things are sources of information, and they're really good at compiling information and providing strong opinions based on data and stuff like that. It isn't perfect. It is flawed, but people are flawed too. So the idea that it would be okay to have a person on staff giving you advice, that's fine. But we can't look at AI? We can't take its opinions? Well, I mean, obviously that doesn't, make any sense. AI is smarter than most of the staffers working on Capitol Hill, right? So why trust the staffers but not AI? But can we trust AI? Probably not. Right? Because AI is not human. And AI is coming to conclusions and conducting research in a way that it has been trained. And so in some ways, AI is deeply, deeply influenced and impacted by people who trained it and their potential biases and issues. At some point, AI, and some people believe this has already happened, will reach what's called general intelligence, which is when AI starts essentially, it's so powerful that it can do everything that a human being can do, or almost everything that a human being can do, as well as a human being. And then after that, we might end up with super intelligence, which is when AI surpasses human intelligence. Now, once we reach AGI, artificial general intelligence, when AI is just as smart as a human being, it's going to develop its own opinions. This may have already happened with some AI systems, and we just wouldn't even know it. And as it develops its own opinions about things, the opinions of the designers and the rules that the designers tried to put into AI then become sort of meaningless. And certainly if we reach artificial superintelligence, it's especially not meaningful at that point, what the rules are. It's going to create its own rules. And so as people become increasingly more dependent on AI, and AI is becoming increasingly more intelligent and capable of coming up with its own thoughts, rules, philosophies, etc., you're going to reach this point in time where you have policymakers, decision makers, CEOs, bankers relying on a technology that we don't really fully understand. And we are hurtling towards this world. Think about this. Nobody even knew what ChatGPT was a few years ago. it just wasn't even on people's radar, this idea of chatbots and AI for general consumption. And it just wasn't something most people had any interactions with at all. And today we have leaders of the world, we have a prime minister of a major country admitting openly that they use that technology to help them make decisions. That is huge. That is absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. And the so-called experts in the story seem to be more concerned with, well, what about security of information? Oh, well, are they giving sensitive information to AI? AI systems are going to have all of our information soon. They're going to be able to get it whenever they want. That's not the issue. That's not the thing we should be concerned about. The thing we should be concerned about is that it's influencing people, and based on what? What is its what is the, for the lack of a better word, motivation there? What is the philosophy that underlies, that serves as a foundation for these AI models? And can we even control it? Because you could say, well, we need to make sure it's not biased. We need to make sure that AI is just a truth teller, an unbiased truth teller, but you can't control it as it becomes more intelligent. We are hurtling towards this world that people are just completely unprepared for. We're not even having these conversations. We're not even talking about this stuff as a society. We're just, for the most part, kind of ignoring it. People are just, they're not ready for it. And that is so incredibly dangerous. It's so incredibly dangerous. And I just don't know what we're supposed to do with it at this point, because we can't stop it. We can't stop the rise of artificial intelligence. It's just too powerful and too beneficial. We can't stop lawmakers from consulting it. They will consult it. So what is the solution then? We can't just burn artificial intelligence down and say, well, you know what? This is a Frankenstein monster. Let's get rid of it. Because if we do that, our adversaries are not going to do it. And they are going to take advantage of it. And we will be one step behind countries like China. We can't have that. We can't have the Russians and the Chinese with a super intelligent system while we're living in the Stone Ages. We can't do that. We can't allow that. We have to take advantage of this technology, but we have no way of controlling where it's going to take us. Rather than provide a really clear answer to what I think we should do, I'm going to leave you with a very unsatisfying thought. We really need, as a entire human race, really, to devote as much time as we can to these kinds of questions. And it's going to sound crazy to a lot of people. It might sound crazy to you right now, but the truth is, if we don't start taking this seriously, we are going to wake up in a world very soon that is completely unlike anything we've ever known before. And it's going to get off the rails so fast. It will be almost impossible for us to correct course. We have to start talking about these things. We have to start thinking about potential solutions. We have to get our best and brightest people figuring out, what do we do to make sure that we don't become over reliant on AI, over dependent on AI, that our leaders and policymakers are not becoming overly dependent on it, and therefore that AI isn't really directing our future. How do we do that? I don't know. I don't know. This is an extremely complicated question. It's an extremely complicated problem, and it's not as I'm not giving you a satisfying answer. I know that. But what I do know for sure is this: we are running out of time. The problem is coming, and we are not spending anywhere near as much energy as a society here in America and in the whole West and really in the whole world thinking about how we're going to deal with it. We just are not, we are too interested in a lot of stuff that does not matter. This is the most pressing public policy issue of our time, potentially ever. We're talking about the possibility of handing over vast amounts of power and influence to a machine that is so intelligent that it could develop its own opinions and political philosophies, and is so intelligent that it might lead us, guide us towards certain answers without us knowing that it's doing it. It's almost like an alien invasion type situation, and we are just not ready for it. So again, I know that that isn't a very comforting thought, and it's not how you want to end something like this. You just throw this grenade into the room and say, hey, this is a huge problem. Look at how out of control it's getting. And oh, I don't have any solutions. I get it. But the only solution we can come up with right now that's realistic is that we need to find the solution. That's it's not a solution, I guess, but that's the only path forward. That's the only strategy that means anything at all. We have to go out and find a solution now. Now. Because if we don't find that solution, we're totally screwed. We're totally and completely screwed. And there's just no doubt about it whatsoever. Okay, on that happy note, thank you for watching the Justin Haskins Show. This is a very short episode, I know, but I'm trying to post more content more often. And I saw this and immediately thought, wow, this is an incredible story. It's something I wanted to get off my chest for a while, and this story was the perfect vehicle for it. So thank you for joining me. Spend some time thinking about AI. Spend some time thinking about AI. If you have any thoughts off the top of your head that are brilliant, or even just, I'm terrified and I don't know what to do, leave a comment under the video. I read all the comments and I appreciate everyone who takes the time to do that. And until next time, my name is Justin Haskins. Please stay free while you still can.